Welcome back to News You Missed, where the planet never sleeps, the headlines never make sense, and we read it all so you don't have to.
Good morning, Drew, and hello everyone out there. We've got news flowing thick and fast. It's crazy what's going on out there. The exposure is coming in like it's no tomorrow. My first story, House Republicans are calling several of Joe Biden's presidential pardons illegitimate, claiming his aides abused the use of an auto pen to sign documents without proper approval. A new report by the GOP-led Oversight Committee accuses Biden's inner circle of hiding his cognitive decline and misleading the public. The panel says executive actions signed with the auto pen may be void and is urging investigations into several former officials. A Biden spokesperson has dismissed the claims as false and politically motivated. Drew, this is a story we've known for ages. The walking shell that is Biden hasn't been in charge of the US, which then means the people pulling his strings, wow, aren't they in worse trouble than you can believe for abusing presidential authority?
Well, you'd like to think so, so let's see if anything actually happens about it. And my first story, first up, Netanyahu abruptly ended his corruption trial today, citing urgent security developments. Within hours, new airstrikes were launched on Gaza and Hamas accused Israel of breaking the ceasefire. The Middle East peace process now officially has a restraining order. When your Prime Minister leaves court to start war, you know the defence strategy isn't working. I mean, what do you think happened here, Paul? You got the arsehole and went, I'm going to go and play with my toys.
Well, from what I can understand is Hamas launched the strike, which actually killed an Israeli soldier. And obviously, Israel has responded. And I don't know what's going on over there, but can people just stop killing each other? It's as simple as that. My next story, in Washington, D.C., the US government has reinstalled the statue of former Confederate General Albert Pike, the only outdoor Confederate monument in the Capitol. The statue was torn down and set on fire during Black Lives Matter protests in 2020. Officials say the restoration follows federal preservation laws and recent executive orders to beautify the city. But critics, including Congresswoman Eleanor Holmes Norton, have condemned the move as offensive, calling Pike's legacy dishonorable and unworthy of public tribute.
Next up, Kim Jong-un decides to test a new cruise missile just hours before Trump landed in Seoul. The timing says, "Welcome, Mr. President," in ballistic.
A Paris court has heard a case against 10 people accused of spreading online rumours that France's First Lady, supposedly, Brigitte Macron, was born male, a claim she has long denied. The defendants argued their posts were satire or free expression. Macron's daughter, Tiffaine Azuriez, testified that the false claims have deeply affected her mother's life. Drew, I'm sorry, but this could be settled in 2 tests. An X-ray of the hip area and a DNA test. Done. There doesn't need to be a court case. The only reason why they need a court case is they're trying to keep up a lie. Sorry, but that's the truth.
Meanwhile, in the Caribbean, Hurricane Melissa is rewriting geography. The Category 5 monster slammed Jamaica with 175 miles per hour winds and 30 inches of rain before heading to Cuba. 7 dead, thousands homeless, and half the island underwater.
Cameroon has re-elected 92-year-old President Paul Biya, the world's oldest sitting leader, despite violent clashes ahead of the vote. Biya, in power since 1982, won 53.66% of the vote in October the 12th, while opposition candidate Issa Chimora Bakary received 35% of the vote. Protests erupted across the country, with 4 demonstrators shot dead and over 100 arrested, as citizens demanded credible results. Security forces also faced injuries amid street clashes in Douala, Garoua and Mauawa.
Rio de Janeiro descended into chaos as 2,500 heavily armed police battled cartels in the city's largest operation ever. Helicopters, armoured vehicles, drones, the works. When your commute involves a tank, you know urban planning failed.
And Drew, just to add on to the end of that, 64 people have been killed in the massive police operation. Now, for anyone out there who's looked at Brazil a little bit, in the favelas, the gangs run everything. Most areas the police can't even go into. So the fact that they've done this massive operation, well, I think there was always going to be casualties. And my next story. Reports of mass killings are emerging from El Fasher in Sudan after the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces seized control of the city. Local activists and the UN say thousands of civilians, mostly from non-Arab communities, have been executed or displaced, with videos showing bodies and destroyed properties. The RSF now controls all of Darfur state capitals, raising fears of ethnic cleansing and worsening humanitarian crisis. Tens of thousands remain trapped, and aid agencies warn of growing starvation and medical emergencies.
And from disaster to absurdity, the Mississippi monkey massacre. A truck hauling lab monkeys infected with hepatitis C, herpes and COVID overturned on a highway. One monkey still on the loose. Authorities assure the public the monkeys are contained. Translation, they hope. 2020 had bats. 2025 said, hold my bananas.
Drew, that is hilarious. I'm not going to lie to you. That is hilarious.
So if you're in the Mississippi region, I suggest you stay inside. Is this the next lockdown?
God, talk about releasing a monkey with everything. This is like that movie. You can definitely tell this is something out of a movie. Authorities in New Delhi conducted a cloud seeding experiment to induce rainfall and reduce the city's severe smog. A plane sprayed chemicals into clouds over parts of the capital, which ranks among the world's most polluted cities. Officials hope the rain will temporarily wash away pollutants, but experts warn the effect is short-lived and call for stronger measures to cut emissions from vehicles, industry and crop burning. Residents have expressed frustration, saying long-term solutions are urgently needed.
Next up, the Senate opens investigation into the Gates Foundation. A probe claim the foundation may have routed funds to Chinese PLA-linked groups. No charges yet, just questions and probably a lot of lawyers sweating through linen. Every time you donate to save the world, someone else checks if you accidentally funded it. Alright, grab your calculators and your cocktails. It's time for Financial Funnies, where the numbers go up, the jobs go down and reality checks are out of stock. Paul, what's your first one?
Gold just pulled off a historic mic drop moment. For the first time in nearly 30 years, global central banks now hold more gold than US treasuries. That's right, the shiny stuff is back on top, with central banks holding around 36,000 metric tons, roughly $4.5 trillion. Move over dollar. Gold is here to remind everyone who's really in charge of the world's savings. So if you've been holding on to your coins under the mattress, you're basically in good company.
And Apple just hit $4 trillion, the third company in history to do so. iPhones now worth more than some nations. Investors cheered. Economists quietly wept. Remember when Apple sold computers? Now they sell vibes and still charge extra for the charger.
Barclays is dusting off its investment banking suit and heading back to Saudi Arabia after an 11-year break. Apparently, the desert called and it wants some financial expertise. The London bank plans to open a good-sized office in Riyadh and help the kingdom grow beyond oil. Maybe even fund that futuristic desert city, Neom. Other rivals are already there, so Barclays doesn't want to be the last to the sandpit.
And Nvidia, from chips to gold bars, shares hit an all-time high of $200 after announcing a partnership with Palantir. Yes, the data spy company. It's like Iron Man and Big Brother had a baby, and Wall Street bought it diapers. At this rate, Nvidia could buy the actual Silicon Valley.
Guernsey's 2026 budget has been called a financial flop. Apparently, it's less about balancing the books and more about testing how far you can push a £115 million deficit. Spending is set to rise faster than income, meaning the government might have to borrow, raid reserves, or maybe just shake the couch cushions for loose change. The budget will be debated on November the 4th, so expect plenty of heated talk and maybe a few more creative ways to make pennies stretch into pounds.
Amazon is axing 14,000 jobs. CEO Andy Jassy says it's streamlining. Translation: the servers are staying, you're not. Amazon's next innovation: same-day delivery of your termination notice. And lastly, Western Union jumps on the crypto train, launching its own stablecoin on Solana next year. The world's slowest remittance service just discovered instant payment. Welcome to 2018 Western Union. Now over to Hackers Corner, where fishing isn't a hobby, it's a national sport. What's your first one, Paul?
Well, my first story, and do you know what? The amount of hacking that goes on out there, and a lot of it is just from, I hate to say it, stupidity. It's just not taking those extra 2 minutes because we're rushing around in life and the mistakes happen there. My first one, Google Chrome has just had a big oops moment. A 0-day bug tracked as CVE 2025-2783 let attackers escape its sandbox with just a malicious link and a click. The flaw affected the Mojo component on Windows and has been actively used in the wild. Translation: update now is basically the new click this link if you like hackers. So go ahead, update your browser like you're flossing your teeth. Your Wi-Fi and your sanity will thank you. And your Google Workspace might be more open than you think. The secure by default promise? Not quite. With open file sharing and wild zero auth app permissions, it's like giving everyone a VIP pass to your corporate karaoke bar. Third-party apps can get so many rights they start acting like admin gods, sneaking out data while you're just trying to write a spreadsheet. So remember, convenience is the thief's carpool. Lane lock it down before you get a ride with the wrong passengers.
And Sidewinder strikes again. Fake Adobe updates hit a European embassy in India. Sneaking in Stealerbot malware. Click once exploit plus diplomats equals international embarrassment. If it says update now, it's already too late. And new Android Trojan Herodotus hits Italy and Brazil, steals 2 FA codes while typing like a gentleman. Malware with manners, at least it says please. And time for Robots Corner, where humans pretend they're still in charge. Paul, what's your first one?
Well, Drew, obviously you covered Amazon and the 14,000 layoffs that they're going to do, and that's all down to AI. We're talking factory workers, you name it, they're all going. But my first real story, OpenAI says over 1 million people discuss suicidal thoughts with ChatGPT every week. Internal analysis shows that about 0.15% of its 800 million weekly users display signs of suicidal intent. In response, the company has updated the chatbot to better recognise distress, respond empathetically, and guide users to real-world help. Experts warn that prolonged AI interactions can sometimes worsen mental health, highlighting the need for safe and responsible use of chatbots. Now, this is my own personal opinion. If you think you need to talk to an AI chatbot about this, you need to stop right now and go seek real world help. Talk to a human being. Do not talk to an AI chatbot, because I can tell you now, it is never as bad as you think. There is always hope. There is always a chance that you can fix the situation. You've just got to talk to somebody. So please don't suffer in silence.
And Tesla's revealed its unified AI brain that runs both cars and humanoid robots. Millions of fleet cameras feed one neutral net that can drive, walk, or possibly overthrow civilization. Pure vision learning, no LiDAR, no radar, just vibes and 3D mapping. One glitch away from oops, I drove your humanoid.
Well, Drew, as if life wasn't tough enough and The stresses of life catching up with you. Scientists have just invented Life Clock, an AI that tells your biological age using routine health records. That's right, forget candles on your birthday cake, your liver, kidneys and red blood cells, and now the party poopers that reveal your true age. Life Clock actually has two clocks, one for kids and one for adults, and it can predict disease risk years in advance. Basically, it's like having a nosy, futuristic grandma who knows if you're going to get diabetes before you even crave that second donut. So eat your veggies or Life Clock will judge you. Now, Drew, this is just the start. It won't be long before it starts predicting when you're going to die. And the last story for our AI segment of the show. Hurricane Melissa is wreaking havoc in the Caribbean, and apparently so is the internet. Social media is flooded with AI generated videos, including sharks casually swimming past houses like it's a new episode of Shark Week, Tropical Edition. Our fact checkers are working overtime to separate the real storm footage from the digital Sharknado nonsense. So if you see a tiger shark ordering a latte in your backyard during Melissa, it's safe to assume it's fake. Stay tuned for the real updates and maybe keep the surfboard handy. Thank you everybody for tuning in today. That was the news you missed on Wednesday, the 29th of October 2025. Thanks for staying with us for so long. There was so much news that was out there today. It was absolutely monumental, good, bad and ugly. And tonight we have on Josh Reed, where you, the audience, can interact, ask him questions, find out what's going on out there in the world. So thanks for joining us once again, and we'll see you next time.
Stay sane, stay curious, and we'll see you tomorrow when the world tries something even weirder. But for now, bye bye.